Good morning. Okay, so I've been let know that I didn't show my makeup application, and I really have been enjoying just talking and venting, so I haven't spent much time on the makeup. You're right. I'm just doing it, and you're keeping me company. So I guess I could show you what I do and why. So what I've learned as I grow older is that I seem to go through phases where I don't know what I look like anymore. So it's more like, so when I was around in my 20s, I quit wearing halter tops and hip huggers because I just kind of knew that in the 20s, it started looking like I was still trying to be a teenager. So in my late 20s, I started getting out of that. And then in my 30s, I went through another phase where I didn't want to look like I was trying to be too young for my age. I always kind of wanted to be me and be authentic, but sometimes I had to re-explore that. Matter of fact, it was in my 30s when I started wearing dresses for real, for a fashion choice and for comfort, where before it was always tight jeans and high heels or boots. And I'll get started while I'm talking. So I've already washed my face. I use those microfiber cloths, so I don't use soap on my face because my skin's very thin and sensitive. So it gets everything off. I've tested it with little white pads. So I use that with warm water, and then I put on a light moisturizer that's supposed to have aging products in it. I experiment with that, and I don't always use anything like that. One of the things that I do use is sunscreen, and that's been really hard to find. That doesn't hurt my eyes. I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. And this is the moisturizer that I've been using, and I really like it. So the makeup I'm using right now is Rimmel Stay Matte. And because I like this jar, I just keep putting the cream in there instead of messing with the cap and how much to get out. I like this better. So what I do is, I was using a brush, but recently I'm realizing there's a lot of waste with a brush. And so I mix a little of my sunscreen with my makeup. This is how I'm doing it today. Oh, so anyway, getting back to finding myself. It's also been a journey with makeup. And because I do image consulting, I had a cosmetology license for years and enjoyed helping people with their images. And I still do some of that. Let me get a little more color because I like to make sure my neck, with all of its age spots and freckles, is covered. Yeah. So I know a little bit about makeup, and this is what I can tell you. People spend a fortune on makeup, and they spend a fortune in moments in time with application. And what I can tell you about that is that most of the time That's just not necessary. It's just not necessary. And when people put on makeup for videos, that's not realistic in real life. You can't walk around the grocery store wearing that much makeup and expect people to want to be your friend. That's just me. That's just me. Let's see. So I also want you to see that third layer I did under my eyes. I did that because I was reproving a point to myself, and I'll share it with you, is that older women who have wrinkled skin like me, that's too much makeup. All these little wrinkles, I don't care what you do to it. If you have that much layering of product on your face, it's going to wrinkle. And no amount of fancy powder is going to keep your skin from showing all that makeup in your crevices. Maybe I have more wrinkles than most people, but I'm going to be 61 this year, and I have accepted, once again, you know, when I don't know what I look like, I'm starting to see what I look like again. You know, it usually takes me a few months to renegotiate my wrinkles and my sagging and my droops. And it's like, oh, what a bummer. I have all these friends and acquaintances to get their work done. And I've experimented with fillers once, and I loved it, except that it hurt and I bruised so easily. The bruising lasted for like 3 weeks. I looked like I had been beat up. And so I just don't do that anymore. I can't afford that kind of experience when I'm working with clients. That's just not okay. So I'm going to show you another way so I go through with the sponge to make sure there's no creases or anything, right? And sometimes I use a brush, but this sponge thing has been a fun experiment. Now also, because of my wrinkles and because of my nose shape, sometimes I have to move things around and push the makeup into my pores and out of the crevices. And also make sure, here's something a lot of people don't tell you either, is that if you have a lot of facial movements, make sure your makeup isn't showing around your nostril. So you want to just kind of blend that out so that it's not showing. Yeah, that breaks my heart when people are doing that, wearing too much makeup. And then I look at my lips. I look at them and then kind of get that makeup pushed out, which kind of spreads it out. That's what I do with that. Next, I'm going to show you what I normally do. So I normally take my powder brush. I'm going to take this big one. And I use CoverGirl Clean Makeup. And this is, I think, 120. It's very light, whatever it is. I take the lids off stuff so they lay nice in my makeup drawer. You see, I just lay things down. So I get that, put it right on my eye. And as I lightly push it up through those wrinkles, and then I also take my eyeshadow. I have several eyeshadow, a lot of these eyeshadow ones, and I save one just for this, so it's always light. So I don't have to get a new one every time I do my makeup. And one of the things I can tell you that has helped me is that as I age and I get to know my new fashion statement, or my new comfort level for clothes and makeup as I get older. You know, it's kind of a process. Letting go of youth, letting go of certain clothes. See that? No biggie. And I've learned to really simplify. The older we get, the more ridiculous I think it looks for people to be really made up, unless they're going somewhere special. Now, if I am doing a natural, I'm at home and I'm just doing shopping, I will use the eyebrow brush in blonde because it's very light. But because I'm going to be on video all day for work, I use an eyeshadow. I like this brand, Palladio. And this matches this is a brow powder that matches my skin tone, and it's light taupe. So what I do is I go into this, have a little spray of water. I love reusing these bottles. Okay. Yeah, I don't throw away these bottles. You know, sometimes I have splurged on makeup and gotten these beautiful bottles or containers like this. And then I reuse them with makeup that doesn't come in such a nice bottle because it makes it easier. Like I put my white witch hazel in one of these that's rose scented, and I have essence that I add. So anyway, it's nice to have one that I can wet my brushes on. Oh, I'm doing eyebrows. So now, if you look at my eyebrow line, I've just gotten used to doing this. You can use something like this, which I think is really fun, to help put that line right there. See that? And then just fill in where the hair goes. One of the things too I noticed too is I've always had scarce eyebrows. The thing about it is I was so afraid to make them bigger because I didn't want to stand out. But I'm getting to where now that I'm older and I have found a color for my eyebrows that I like, I'm not afraid to add just a little bit. And that's the rule I use for lip liner too. There are people who are doing all this work on how to make their lips look all plump. Well, if you were born with plump lips, I am happy for you. But I don't know what people do when they have the yard's getting worked on. Sorry for the noise. I just don't want to have to worry about if I get caught in the rain, or if I get caught sweating, or if I come up to friends and hug them, that my makeup's going to go all over them and their clothes. That's embarrassing. That has happened to me so many times when I was younger, because when I was a cosmetologist and I was doing image consulting, oh man, it was all about all this hair and makeup. I'm telling you, that's true, right? There we go. Isn't that nice? Easy breezy. And because I'm going to be on camera all day, all I need is some color, right? Nobody's going to be overanalyzing my makeup. And if they are, they've got the wrong person. So now I'm going to take this brush again, and I'm going to go over my eyebrows. Softens them up a little bit. Keeps that I'm trying too hard look off my face. Then I'm going to take my dark eyeshadow, and I'm going into, and again, this is, I believe, Palladio, and it's a matte shadow duo. And it's just a brown and a lighter brown. And I have used this, and I've tried to buy some more, and it is not easy to get. So I have ordered a brown, and then I found the Palladio where it's an actual palette. Okay, so when I do my eyes, once again, I keep it really simple. I used to use a board, but then I got too lazy for that, and I just used my finger. Okay, don't smile when you do this. Just natural. And do a line from the end of the eye to the end of the eyebrow. And then I just start in my fattest part of my eye, my pouch, right there. And I'm going to tell you something that aggravates me is when these beautiful skinned young women with not a wrinkle on them, tell us how to do hooded eyes. Oh my God. And they're so sweet too. Oh, I'm just trying to help those of my people that do have hooded eyes. I don't know. I just don't appreciate it. I do not appreciate it the way I should, I guess. I don't know where that came from. I must have messed around in my eyeshadow. Okay. So let's do that again. Other side. See? Like this. So here's the fat part of my eyelid. The fattest part of my eyelid. That's where I'm putting the color. And then I just blend it. There is absolutely, when you have hooded eyes, there's absolutely no reason to use more than one color, in my opinion. Because now that I have that done, I go in with just a brush with no color on it, and I just smooth that in. And it softens up the outside just a little bit. Right? That's it. Easy breezy. And I always use the same, lately, I've been using the same black eyeshadow. This is a Rimmel 026. It came with, this looks terrible. Sorry about that. I don't usually do makeup tutorials, but the colors are so dark. There's green, blue, purple, and black, or charcoal. So what I do is, depending on what mood I'm in, I wet my brush, and I'm in a purple mood. And this particular eyeshadow is so dark, it goes on almost black. And a lot of people in the reviews complained about it. So when I read the reviews, I'm like, ooh, I gotta have that. They're like, oh, it's too dark to use for eyeshadow. And I'm like, ooh, then I can use it for liner. Yay. Right? So I don't mess around with wings. I don't mess around with trying to do my water lines. I'm too old for that. I'm not going to an evening cocktail party. I'm going to work. Right? And when I get off work, I live my life. So I don't need to do all that. And neither do you, I don't think. So what I do is I just lift up my fold a little bit out of my way. But I have a dot, I'll put a dot right there on that wrinkle. I have a double wrinkle right there in my eyelid. So now I have that dot there. Now I can go in and just connect it down into my eyelashes. And very, very light coat, very light line as I coat. When I pull up this fold of skin, pull up those wrinkles and it's smooth there, that's where I put the eyeshadow. And then when I let the fold down, there's some wrinkles where the eyeshadow is kind of getting jacked around. So that's when I just barely pull it up and connect all those little wrinkle dots, right? Now, here's one of the things that I learned is that if I have this dot just barely on those wrinkles, it gives me a tiniest little wing without looking like, ooh, don't put a wing on all those wrinkles. At this point, my wrinkles right there just barely get color, right? Just barely get color. It looks, if somebody overanalyzes it, it almost looks like it accidentally, oops. And the only time you see sort of a wing effect is when I close my eyes. You see that? See all those wrinkles in there? But keeping my makeup simple, there you go. Once again, I'm going to show you a little trick that I learned that I think is kind of half brilliant. I just use the same, we'll say, contour brush and blush. What I'm really doing is I'm using, this is going to be something crazy. I don't like spending all that money on makeup. I'm sorry, I just don't. So I'm going to show you what I have done recently. I found this eyeshadow palette that I thought was going to be wonderful, but in the reviews or in the pictures, it looked matte. But when I got it, there were several colors that I really liked that are not matte. There's a lot of them that are frosty, and not glittery, but you can just tell. So I don't like that for my eyes because they're already puffy. I don't need them shining. I don't care. I'm old-fashioned, but when young people are doing makeup tutorials and they say to use certain eyeshadows in the crease and all that shine and stuff, I really just don't think, it looks nice. I don't think all that sparkle looks nice on people out of their 30s, right? Unless they are dressing up for an evening event. So I use this for contour blush. So I don't go into the black or gray that's up here, but see that pretty mauve-y color? And then these are sort of peachy. Even if it's a little brown right there, it's sort of you can't really see it, but it's sort of a rust brown, right? So some of them are matte, and some of them are just a little shimmer. So I'm just run my brush up and down there. And then I go in. And add some color. How about that? Save a couple bucks, right? And then I do my lip, my upper lip. Because it's so white during my sessions. I don't know why. It's true. And then I do my neck. I put all the rest on my neck. And my ears a tiny bit. Because I'm so white that under eyes, wrinkles, shadowing, and all that really show up. So I do know this shows up as white, and my neck shows up as really white when I just put very light makeup on it. So I'll go ahead and empty the rest of my blush brush on my neck, and it kind of blends better. I'm not sure I just don't want to spend any more time, money, and effort, stress on lighting. It's just not necessary. I don't need to look like a rock star. Okay, so then I use the same brush to go in with my blush. This is an Ellen Tracy I got at TJ Maxx. And one of them has a little bit of teeny weeny bit of shimmer, and the rest are kind of in the orangey family. And so I just put a little bit of that on this same brush. Not much. I don't need much. And then here's something fun. And I do this Not to be cool, but because when I do, I have cheekbones in my videos. You have to kind of look at how you look at work. Take a mirror to work with you and look at that. I get to see myself on a screen. If I change the view, I can see myself on screen. And my makeup, my face, my wrinkles and everything change during the day because I insist on having my window open during sessions because I just can't operate all day long every day without a window. Anyway, so most of the time, my makeup looks better if I put a little oh, what is that called? Like that shiny stuff, highlighter there. And that's it. That, and I have this little makeup brush that I put some of this lightest off my palette that I already showed you. I go from my ear to my lip right here. Just barely. I'm telling you what, it makes a difference. It makes it look in the camera like I have a cheekbone, where normally it's just sag, right? And then what's the attention is drawn to right here. I'm not into doing a bunch of contouring. Don't care about that. I use the same colors every single day, almost. And if they're not the same color, they're in the palette that I'm using. So I might use a different color liner. I don't think anybody can tell because they're all so dark. And as far as my blush, I might use a little more of the orange or the actual blush palette and a little less of the eyeshadow palette there. I usually, if I do anything different on my eyeshadow, I might go in with my shadow and maybe like I'll get this brick color, which I just love, and then go in with the sparkly one. I might do this, but I'm not going to take the time to do that every day. And I don't think anybody can see it. My lip color, I got these. They're called Believe. See, they're mostly muted colors. Velvet Matte. I can't read the colors anymore. But I put the more red, the more pinkish mauve on first. Here's a tip, like I do in my eyebrows, my eyeliner, and my lips, is I'm going to turn this on the magnifying. Because my lips are always so thin, that's just how they are. I like the wand on these Believes. I have like what I've heard called a double lip line. I know I have makeup on there, but I don't have a good, fine, sturdy, clear lip line. I have like a soft lip line and then almost a lip line. I've never had good lips, just be honest with you. So what I do is I put the makeup right on the top of my second lip line, not the inside one, but the second one. Not everybody has ever thought about or talked about that. It's almost like having two lip lines, two lips. Okay, so I put it right on the top. I don't go down over either one. I just stay on top of it. I'm going to tell you the truth. If you watch me every time I post and I'm doing makeup, you're gonna see that. Oh, I might dab some of that off. I can usually put it on just willy-nilly and then do that because I've looked in the mirror often enough that I know where my second lip line is by feeling it, especially on the bottom. I tend to go a little too far on the top. I don't know why. Okay, so then I put the orange. Now it's going to match my lip color perfectly. And what I'm trying to match is the inside of my lip. Why? Because as this makeup wears off, no biggie, right? One of the things that I found is this very inexpensive LA lip. This lip gloss, it matches my lips pretty good. So I can put this on it to touch up something. And let me tell you something while I put on my mascara. My eyelashes are very important to me. They're one of my best assets, and that they're long. They're not thick. Too bad. Just like my hair. I've always been able to grow hair about this length without it looking too ratty at the bottom. My eyelashes are the same. So to make them thick as possible, because they're not very thick, but they're long, I use good thick mascara. And if you buy mascara that's kind of thin, what I do is I leave the lid off for an hour. But I don't buy that mascara anymore. This is so affordable, I can't hardly stand it. Essence Lash, that's what I use. That and my all-time favorite, I have both of these, but I'm kind of having fun with this one. So I envelop the lashes. I go down, and then I go up. People talk about curling your lashes. Not everybody has to do that step. Right? Might be time for me to get a fresh bottle. I've got some. I buy it on sale. I have spent a lot of money on makeup and facial products. But I want to tell you, oh my God, I used to use all that stuff and put out all that money thinking that's what a woman's supposed to do. But when I really studied the ingredients, they really sell to mostly women who are insecure and can't afford a facelift. So women think, oh, I can't afford a facelift, so I guess I can do this. And really, they end up spending more money over time than just going ahead and doing the deal. But for me, facelifts are so expensive that scary. I don't want to do that. Chicken. Sorry, I am. I make sure that I have one of these dry wands, and I got this out of an old mascara that I tried for my eyebrows. That way I can go in and get these lashes adjusted. Right? Now, because I like thick lashes, now that my mascara is dried up a little bit on my lashes, I'm going to go in for another layer. And I'm going to show you how I do this because I've been complimented on my lashes many times. And I've had several women say they thought I was getting my eyelashes done. So now I just take this nice, thick, yummy mascara, and I just lay it in the lashes and go back and forth down at down to the base, not the ends, not the ends. Do not put extra mascara on the ends because mine are long, so I don't need to worry about long. I need to worry about filling in down at the bottom, and this will gloop, it'll goop up in there, and it looks like false eyelashes being glued in there. It's true. Okay, so now that's nice and tacky. These next layers will stick in there. See? And you don't need much on the bottom. I know people put eyeshadow on the bottom and all that, but I think it makes older, I don't know, it makes me look good. So I have wild eyelashes that'll stick. I just go in and tweeze them out. Get rid of that. And if here's another little trick. If you have a glump on your eyelashes, all you have to do is pinch it. So you just pinch that spot that was too thick. Just pinch it. See these dark circles under my eyes? And this mascara on my eyelid? I did have my eyes done years ago because my hoods were so long. It was the best money I ever spent. I had hooded eyes since I was 5. Woo! Okay. There you go. I'm going to go finish getting ready for work. And don't blink too hard or sneeze until your eye mascara dries. Otherwise, make sure you check the mirror because you'll have black spots down there because that mascara is thick. It is. Okay. So, thank you for joining me this morning. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.